Shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rakayo, from the GMS Orlando camp, and tonight's lesson is going to be entitled, Take Heed to the Spirit, all right, or Take Heed to the Warnings, all right. And tonight I want to bring out a brief exhortation for you elect Akim out there, all right, to take heed to the warnings that the Lord has given through the Spirit, all right. And what I mean by that is, in this truth of ours, we have different shifts, all right. The Spirit has different shifts, all right. The Spirit is likened unto the wind, right? And just like the wind, the Spirit tends to shift to different points and pinpoint different subjects, all right, that Akim need to focus on in that moment in order to grow, all right. The Spirit tends to pinpoint certain topics and subjects that brothers need to work on, you know, at that time. And if you've been paying attention right now, the Spirit has been shifted toward growth, the importance of growth, all right, and the importance of brothers applying the scriptures that we read on a daily basis to their lives personally, all right, so that we may grow thereby. All right, there's been a couple of videos, you know, one of the more recent ones coming from the elder apostle Ramlav. He entitled one of his videos, Coming Into Your Own. All right, another video that he did going into, if you're not growing, you're not in the truth. All right, the elder Yashawamba just did a video today on don't let bitterness overcome you, man up. All right, and there's been many more videos, you know, coming from brothers around the four corners and going into growth. All right, and it's the Spirit, okay, because what you have to realize is that we're not men, you know, we're not just men talking. All right, ultimately at the end of the day, it's the Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that is working through these men, all right, to bring out these certain topics. All right, and right now the Lord sees fit for the topic of growth to be put on the forefront. All right, and there's many reasons for that. You know, there's many reasons for this topic of growth to be put up, especially coming into this Passover, all right, in the next couple of weeks. All right, because we're getting ready to enter into a time to where faith is going to be a focal point. All right, the main focal point. All right, and we're not talking about a regular amount of faith. We're talking about extreme amounts of faith. All right, and in order for us to possess those extreme amounts of faith, all right, that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding that's going to be the stability of our time and the strength of our salvation, we're going to need to grow. All right, our vessels are going to need to grow spiritually, mentally. We're going to have to, we have a need to grow, all right, in order to handle extreme amount of faith, all right, in order to handle the miracle, in order to perform the miracles, all right, in order to handle the judgments that are coming upon the earth. All right, there's a certain level of growth that we need to achieve before we enter into that time. All right, and right now the Lord is putting emphasis on that growth. All right, and you know, it is the Spirit because excuse me, Spirit, because me and the brothers was just talking about this topic this past Saturday after camp, on the importance of growth, you know, the importance of applying these scriptures to your life so that they may not only benefit you, but those around you. All right, because we're a body. All right, we're the scriptures say that iron sharpeneth iron, and each brother is a knife. He's a piece of iron. All right, and in order to sharpen each other, you got to be sharp yourself. All right, and in order to benefit the body, you got to bring all that the Lord imparted you to the body. All right, you got to perform your function till its fullest. You see what I'm saying? So in order to not only benefit ourselves, but the Akim around us, we have to grow. All right, we have to grow, especially as teachers and prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because with that comes a greater office. All right, we're examples, so to speak. All right, men and the men around us, The people who watch us, they're looking at us, they're watching us, and how we deal with certain situations, and how we apply the scriptures to our lives, and how we apply the scriptures to certain trials and tribulations that we face. All right, we're essentially an example unto our nation, just like the leaders before us. All right, because that's what the Lord is grooming up, right? We're being groomed to be leaders, kings, priests, and judges, and with that comes a responsibility. You see, and a part of our responsibility is being an example. All right, and to those who watch, those who follow. Look at the elders apostles of Great Millstone, for example, for a good example. All right, you can't be like the elder Yashawamba was going into. You can't deal with situations that we come across like a niggard. That old man has to be put away, and you have to walk more and more in the spirit daily. All right, as you continue in this truth, there should be a level of growth within your spirit, to where the way you handle certain situations and the way your outlook on life, your outlook on certain trials that we go through changes. All right, for the better, and people are able to look at that and learn from that. All right, you by going through certain trials and tribulations, and taking and walking through the spirit. So like this dude is rolling up on my car all of a sudden, it just threw me off a little bit. But by taking, by handling certain situations spiritually, we're able to set an example. We're able to set that standard through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. So it's important for a certain level of growth to be maintained in this truth. But we're going to grab a couple of scriptures and then we'll close it out. All right, Lord willing, this is edifying unto the elect. But the main point of tonight's lesson is growth. All right, because there's a reason why the Lord has so many videos, so many brothers touching on this topic, especially coming into this Passover. All right, because our growth mentally and spiritually is going to lead, or is going to be paramount, all right, to our salvation. But without further ado, let's go ahead and grab this in Romans chapter 12, and we're going to start at verse 2. All right, and tonight I wanted to focus on the mind as far as growth is concerned. All right, the mentality that we must possess as far as growth is concerned. All right, because me, myself, personally, I found that in order for me to grow, my mind has to be in a certain space. All right, in order for you to grow, your mind has to be in a certain space. All right, when you go through certain trials and tribulations, you can't look at those trials and tribulations as if they were there to destroy you. All right, you have to look at those different obstacles, trials, and tribulations as if they were there for learning experiences, all right, teaching experiences, all right, growth experiences, all right, as if they were there to help you grow. All right, and that's exactly why they're put in place. The Lord chastises us for our betterment, all right, for our growth, all right, for our development. All right, that's the reason why we go through these things. All right, and that's why it's a necessity that we go through these things, just like Yahushua went through these things. All right, in order to reach the end of this battle, in order to overcome, we have to go through these battles. These battles are necessary, man. Growth is necessary. All right, but it first starts at the mind. All right, this is Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, so there's a transformation of mind that must take place in this walk of ours. All right, and that transformation of mind comes from the scriptures, the precepts that we read on a daily basis being applied to our lives. All right, let's get this real quick. This is Joshua chapter 1. All right, because there's a certain fruit, all right, that's supposed to that we're supposed to bring forth upon meditating and upon these precepts, these parables, all right, the law, statutes, and commandments. This is Joshua chapter 1 and 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. All right, so when we begin to meditate, upon these words, all right, and apply these words and apply the wisdom that we learn on a daily basis, then our ways begin to become prosperous, all right. And we're not talking about carnal ways, or we're talking about spiritual ways, all right. When you start to apply the scriptures, your walk, all right, becomes easier through the Spirit, all right. Your walk you begin to be more seasoned in your walk, in which we desire to be. We desire to be seasoned in our walk, all right. We desire to be faithful men, men of outstanding faith. All right. And this is how we achieve that, by meditating upon these words, by meditating upon these precepts day and night. All right. And applying these precepts day and night. All right. Because by doing so, there's a level of growth, all right, that's going to happen through the Spirit. All right. And I was talking with one of the brothers, that growth may not necessarily look, and feel like you think it's supposed to look and feel. But that doesn't mean that the growth is not present. All right. Just like the grass, for example. All right. You don't notice the grass growing until it's damn near, up to your ankles. All right. But every day that you go outside, it looks the same. It looks like it's never growing. But one day you go outside and it's up to your ankles. Then it's up to your calves. All right. Next thing you know, the grass is grown. Likewise, us in the Spirit. All right. The more we continue to meditate upon these things and apply these scriptures to our lives, the more we grow, all right, and that growth may not manifest in a for lack of a better word, a big change, but nevertheless, we're changing slowly, all right. We're achieving higher heights and deeper depths in the Spirit slowly, all right. And this walk of ours is one of endurance, all right. It's one of a slow pace, It's the scriptures speak about the race being not given to the swift. All right, running this race with patience. All right. Our growth is slow, but it's steady. All right. And it's happening, whether you realize it or not, it is happening fast. Brothers are growing, man. You can see it every week, every day when you talk to different brothers, when you meet brothers, you can see the growth. All right. You can hear the growth in the conversation. And that's a beautiful thing. That's what we should be doing. But let's read this again. This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. It reads, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai." All right, let's go ahead and grab this. In 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. This is 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 5. "Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, so that Yahweh Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates." All right, and a part of this mental growth of ours, a part of changing our mindset in order for us to grow is self-examination. All right, you got to examine yourself. All right, because upon examining yourself, you're going to find different weaknesses, all right, within your mind state, within your mentality, that you will be able to focus on, pinpoint and work on through the Spirit. All right, so that barrier in your mind, that barrier in your mentality that's hindering your growth, all right, can be let out the way, broken, so to speak. Lord willing, you get what I'm trying to say. But it says, "Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, that Yahweh Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates." All right. So grab this last one, and I'll close it out. This is 2 Esdras chapter 14 and verse 13. "Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such as them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature." All right. And right now, Akim, it's time to put off the mortal thoughts, man. It's time to put off that weak nature. The Lord called us to be soldiers. All right. He called us to be starters, not bench players. He called us to get in the game. All right. He called us to fight this battle. All right. And to win the war. Lord willing, with that number. All right. So right now is the time to put off those mortal thoughts, man. Mortal thoughts lead to mortal deaths. All right. Right now, Our thoughts need to be on eternity. Our thoughts need to be on the heavenly things, the promises that the Lord made with our forefathers, spiritual power, all right, salvation, all right, the judgment that's coming, all right. Set your mind upon these things that you may grow thereby, all right. Get off of this carnal mentality, man. All right, get off of the ways of this world. All right, this world is getting ready to pass away, bro. Haven't you heard? Haven't you read? Do you not believe what you read on a daily basis? All right, can you not see it coming into fruition? Get your mind off of these carnal, worldly things, man. These mortal thoughts, that's weak nature. And by constantly dwelling upon these things, it's hindering your growth. You're becoming weaker and weaker instead of stronger and stronger by meditating upon these mortal things, man. It says, hey, don't destroy yourself. It's already so many obstacles out here for us. You know, we're against all odds right now. Why add another obstacle to yourself? It says, set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee and haste thee to flee from these times. All right, set aside those heavy thoughts. All right, set them aside, man. All right, and dwell upon what the Lord requires us to dwell on in order for us to grow. All right, but with that being said, that's all I really had to say. All right, shalom, stay up.